Here in Homestead, Florida, we farm in solid rock. That's what our trees grow in. For that reason, we usually use heavy equipment to dig our holes. We use a drill that takes, what, 30 seconds, a minute to dig the hole?
A minute.
But today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Armando, I'm afraid I have some bad news. Right here behind Armando is a 25-gallon Brogden avocado tree. It's, what, maybe about 6.5, 7 feet high. And it's in a 25-gallon pot, which they're what, maybe 2.5 feet wide and another 2 feet deep, right?
Yeah, kind of. We could go with 3. It's better.
Make a hole that, yeah, it's gonna take a hole. So that means to dig the hole, we gotta dig a hole like 3 by 3.
3 by 3, that's better. Yeah. Okay, man.
Armando, this tree's been suffering since the day I put it in the ground. So look, it's got this kind of like mildew, and look at how easy that branch just broke right off. And they're very, like, the branches are very rubbery and fragile. You see that? So, I mean, maybe if this was the last avocado tree on earth, we could nurse it to health. But I'm not gonna spend the next couple of years when all I really have to do is rip this guy out of the ground and put another one in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, I'm thinking he's just gonna pull out of the ground. It's only been in here about 8 months or so. Yeah, look at that. I mean, this could be part of the answer of why the tree's doing so bad. Look, I didn't get any root growth. This is what's underneath my entire property. As you see there, there's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of soil. And then it's, I don't know, 40, 60 feet of limestone rock. Today our job is to just break this up into little rock, but as you see, this is what we're digging in. We're gonna do a little test fit. I think it's good. We tested out the hole with an empty 25-gallon and it fits, so time to put that sucker in the ground.
Slowly.
All right. Armando, I need advice on this tree. So we just got rid of a long neck avocado that wasn't doing so good. We replaced it with a 25-gallon Brogden. I have another 7-gallon Brogden over there, and I don't know if I should replace this one. This guy, he don't look like he's doing so good. You know, he's turning black, he's getting a little brittle, but on the other hand, he's starting to flower. Should we leave this one, or should we yank him out, and maybe I could try to nurse him back to health in a pot, and maybe replace him with the other tree? What do you think?
I think we should like replace it.
Okay.
And like put it on the pot to see like how it goes.
Armando gives me a lot of advice, and a lot of the stuff you guys learned from me on my videos, I've learned from Armando over the years. And so I'm gonna take his advice on this one. So we're gonna carefully dig this out. We'll put it in a pot and we'll just kind of try to nurse it back to health in the nursery. And in the meantime, we'll replace it with a nice healthy 7-gallon Brogden.
That sounds really good.
All right, let's do it.
I think that's better.
Yeah, see the difference? Like, he took root nice. That other one we just took out stayed like, yeah, look at all them roots. Yeah, this guy was doing better. So let me set him aside. And all we really got to do is like open up this hole and we'll stick this guy right in. Pull him out and then look, right in the hole perfectly. This is very interesting. I planted both of these trees on the same day, and as I told you earlier, this was the first one we took out and we replaced with that 25-gallon. And look, it never really developed roots. It just kind of stayed in the clump it was in the pot. Where, look at this one. In the 8 months he was in the ground, he really started to thrive and survive. And I'm pretty sure what made this guy sick, because I have him near the fence line, and I think my neighbor's worker might have got a little overzealous with weed kill, and some might have sprayed onto the leaves or something. But this is an otherwise very healthy root system. And you see here, look, it was even starting to flower. This one, on the other hand, never got going. I think it was root bound. A tree becomes root bound if it sits in a pot too long. The roots grow out to the side of the pot and then they turn and grow in on themselves and fuse together. And yeah, I can kind of feel that in here. I don't know, maybe we'll see if we could save this guy. Yeah, that was root bound, Armando. So the main thing with planting these trees in the ground is you want to make sure the graft is above ground. And right now this hole's a tad too deep. The graft would be buried below ground. So we just want to put a little soil on the bottom, or we could even cave in the hole from around the sides, just to kind of fill in the bottom a little bit. See that? Since the pandemic, these pots have been really hard to get. And so I try to reuse them, but this one's shot. And so what I find the best way to get these out of the pot is to just slice the pot open. Because a lot of times they're kind of stuck in the pot. But I just make 3 slices and I just kind of peel the pot back. However, I don't know if you've been seeing this, Armando, but pots have been very hard to get lately. The price has gone way up.
Everything's expensive now.
Everything's expensive now. Yeah, there's actually a secondary market for these. So now the nurseries, when we go through our pots, you can actually sell them used.
As a new.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's very important that we pack the soil in and around the hole. We don't want any voids. Armando, this Pim Sung Moon mango, this is one of the ones you could eat green. You ever eat them green early?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice, and this one makes a nice sweet mango even when it's green. It's sweet when it's ripe, but even when it's green, it tastes really good.
Bro?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know about that. Like,
Yeah.
I eat, like green, but not sweet.
You know how you guys pick like the Nam
yeah.
Doc Mais
Yeah,
early
yeah.
in the season and stuff? This is kind of in that same market. You know, people like to eat them green. We'll try it when this thing gives fruit. And now I'm gonna pour a lot of water in there, but that's not so much to water the tree as it is that I want this water to get down into the soil and get down into any little voids and any little air pockets that might be down there and release the air. A lot of times what we do is make something. Armando, you ever make one of them things out of PVC with the little point so you can actually go down into the ground? Yeah, so a lot of times this is kind of like the do-it-yourself at home way, but when we do it out in the groves, we'll take a piece of PVC and cut a point on the front and attach it to the hose, and we actually stick that down into the soil, and we kind of go around to make sure we hit all the voids. So I'm gonna hit this guy pretty good with water. As that water subsides and drips down into the hole, that's gonna soften everything up in there, and any voids, the soil's gonna kind of cave in so we don't get any exposed pockets of air underneath there. One other thing about the watering in, another thing I like to do, and we're not doing it this year, is I prefer to plant my trees just at the start of rainy season. But we don't always have the luxury of choosing when we could do our work. And Armando, would you rather dig a giant hole in January or June?
No, this time.
That's enough digging for one day. You got a chance to peek inside the operations of an avocado farm early in the season. You saw us remove some sick trees and replace them with healthy ones. You learned a little bit about the growing conditions here at our grove, and you saw we're willing to work for you until our fingers bleed. If you'd like to enjoy some of this tropical fruit, the fruits of our labor, go to guacfarm.com, GUACFARM.com. We sell our fruit when it's in season. We have these hats and shirts, and nothing makes me happier than introducing someone to a delicious fruit they haven't tried before. Me and Armando have a couple of sick trees to tend to. While we do that, you go to guacfarm.com, and I will see you on the next video.